Hello, my name is Gary Lynn Hessong and I'm an applications expert with Imaginet Technologies. Today I would like to show you a simple way to design a pond using feature lines and grading objects. To get started, I'm going to data shortcut in my natural ground surface. In this case it's called existing site. And I will XREF in my base. Once I determine my pond location, I'm going to zoom in on it and draw a polyline over the top of my property lines. Then I'm going to give it a 25-foot offset from the back of the lot. Now I'm just going to fillet my corners with a 50-foot radius. And now I have what's going to show as the high bank of my pond. From here I'm going to change it to a feature line. Feature line from objects, and assign it an elevation of 195. Now I have my feature line as my high bank, so I'm just going to do an offset of 10 feet so I have a nice walking berm at the top of my pond. And from here I can start my grading. So I'm going to go up and select my grading creation tools. I'll set my grading group to the next counter. And I don't want to do an automatic surface creation at this time because I may want to modify my grading as I design this pond. So I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to grade to an elevation of 190. So I'm going to click Create Grading. I'm going to pick the inside of the pond, pick towards the center of the pond, apply to the entire length, and my elevation is going to be 190. My slope will be 3 to 1. And now I have the first grading group for my pond. One thing to keep in mind is the feature lines that are generated from the grading group cannot be edited, but you can use those feature lines to grade from. So from here I want to do a steeper elevation or a steeper slope. So I'm going to grade to elevation again. I'm going to pick that feature line that was created, pick to the inside, and I'm going to grade to 185, and this time my slope is going to be a 2 to 1. And there you go. It's important to remember that you will need to create the infill in the center of your pond just by clicking to the center. And now I've created my grading to the center of my pond, but I do need to grade the back slope of my high bank. I just want to grade it to meet my natural ground surface. So I'm going to change this to grade to surface and create grading again. I'm going to pick that outside high bank line and my slope will be 3 to 1. And as you can see, we may have a bit of an issue with this slope, but that's easily edited. You can modify your grading by simply picking the grading object and clicking on Edit Grading, and it'll take you right into the command to change the slope. In this case, I've edited my grading to a 2 to 1 slope, and it just fits right behind my lots. So when creating a grading group, keep in mind that what AutoCAD is creating are the feature lines from the grading group. These are the important part. Picking on these lines picks on the actual grading object so that you can edit that object and it'll change the feature lines. So they do work together. From here, I'm going to go ahead and create my pond surface, and I'm just going to name it Pond, something simple, and say OK. Under definitions, I'm going to pick break lines and add. I'm going to accept the defaults and say OK, and pick the feature lines that were created from my grading group. So there you see I have a nice pond. I would like to view it, so I'm going to go to my object viewer, and there's my pond. One more method that may be quite handy is the paste surfaces command. So I would like to paste this pond right into my existing site surface. So first I'll need to create a new surface, and I'll call it Combined Surface. Then expand your combined surface and expand definitions, and pick on Edits and right mouse click, and if you go down to the bottom there's a Paste Surface command. I'm going to highlight both of my surfaces and say OK. I'm going to change my other surfaces so that I cannot see those surfaces. So go to Surface Properties and change my surface style to No Display. And with the same with my pond. Now if I pick on my surface and look at it in my object viewer, you'll see my pond is now part of my existing site natural ground surface. This concludes my video tech tip, and thank you for listening.